Hello and welcome to the channel, Ruckosaurus Rex, where we review and discuss all things dinosaur and other prehistoric animals. Today, what we're going to be doing is, once again, we will revisit our Even Later to the Party campaign concerning Beasts of the Mesozoic, the Deluxe Raptor series. And today, what we'll be looking at is the Dromaeosaurus. Yes, indeed. I've been looking forward to this particular figure. I was very impressed with it in terms of how it looks, but even more so with the animal itself. One thing known about Dromaeosaurus, well, a couple things. First of all, Dromaeosaurus is the type species for which the entire subspecies are named. Every raptor you can think of is basically a Dromaeosaurid, and that's because this guy right here was the first described, so he gets the honor, and that's how it goes down. But anyway, I love the look of this particular version. This is the second release, and the coloration is based off of the Finnish goshawk, as you guys already know, and some may not, but I'll say it anyway, that Beasts of the Mesozoic always bases their action figures off of existing animals. In the case of the Raptor series, off of existing birds. That's where we get the Finnish goshawk from. And yeah, they of course take artistic license after the fact with that. But enough of that. Let's get right into it. Starting with our packaging. As you can see right there, there's some beautiful artwork of the Dromaeosaurus albertensis, and you can see the background. We'll see that a little bit closer up a little bit later. You've got the logo and the raptor avatar. The top there, you see what it is. 26 points of articulation, realistic movement, and detailed display base and stand included. It's number 16. And then, of course, oh, let it drop right there, but we're going to keep on keeping on. You have the illustration of the included collectible card that comes with it, as well as the information that will be on the flip side of the card. And that information is as follows: Dromaeosaurus albertensis, which stands for running lizard. And that's funny that that's what it's known for. That's what the name is for, but you'll see what I'm getting at when I read the info. Length, 2 meters or 6.6 feet long. Location, West United States, Alberta, Canada. Time period, late Cretaceous, 75 million years ago. Habitat, subtropical forests with cool winters. With a bite nearly 3 times as powerful as Velociraptor, Dromaeosaurus relied more on its jaws than on its sickle-toe claws to kill its prey. That's what I'm getting at there. You know, the name Dromaeosaurus stands for running lizard, which all of the raptors definitely are. So that makes sense, you know, for that whole subgroup to be classified that, because they were all quick. But the simple fact that the 3 times more powerful jaws than Velociraptor and a lot of the Dromaeosaurids, you'd think that it would be named for that. But it is what it is. You see the checklist for all of the Dromaeosaurs from the deluxe set. That doesn't include the fan channel ones. Taking it back to the front there. And that's how it goes down. We're about to take a closer look at our Dromaeosaurus and the accessories to kick us off. We may as well kick off looking at the accessories with the base. You guys already saw our action figure was already posed on the base. And we'll start with the stand portion of it. And the stand that we see here is the middle mid-tier stand. This is a mid-tier stand. This used to be the only stand that came with the first wave of raptors, and it didn't come with this hooked section. It was just, you got the clip that is good for the torso, upper or lower, and then the base, and it's on a ball peg, and you see that it can swerve. There's a hole in the middle of the stand, and you see the stand. We've seen the stand before a million times because all of the stands are the same with the Raptor series. They're just painted different, and this one looks like it's snow. You did hear on the as far as the info, some colder winter climate, so that's what this is supposed to represent. On the back there, already have the additional toes already clipped in. If you guys have been following me, then you already know that these stands also they sub as a storage facility for the additional toes, and the additional toes are the closed toe variant, which you would use like in a running pose or a pose where the feet are off the ground. The other pegs I still have in the clamshell. You have a smaller one, and of course you have the long one for jumping poses, and then you have the clip that goes on the pelvic area. And some of the Raptors, the clip actually fits on, and some they don't, not really. In fact, one I tried to force this and I actually broke that clip. I believe that was on my Sornothalestis that I broke the clip. But hey, first world problems. And here's the packaging that holds the collectible card. It's showing the flip side of the card. And one thing that I didn't mention is that on the flip side of the card, there is another illustration, but it's of the actual action figure in a pose. And then, of course, it has the info. On the flip side of the package, we get an instruction booklet with how to apply the tail, which comes detached. How to apply it with either hot water or a hair dryer, and it's letting you know that the tail is bendy. And finally, here's a look at that backdrop. Just like the info stated, the wintry climate, that is a beautiful, beautiful picture right there. Before we continue, I need you guys to go down below and like the video. I've been checking out my analytics. Just the basic ones, really didn't get too deep into it because I didn't really need to. What I saw was enough. My last video, if any of you have been following me, has been of the beast of the Mesozoic Tyrannosaurus Rex. Actually, it was the one before. My last video was the Fan's Choice Pachyrhinosaurus. But the beast of the Mesozoic Tyrannosaurus Rex, my last count is over 1,200 views. And there was only 31 likes, and from what I can see, 1 dislike. So 32 likes out of over 1,200. You guys are watching, and I greatly appreciate it. So there's no shade or no smoke on that. But it doesn't hurt to go down there and just hit a thumb, up or down. It doesn't matter to me. Just what matters is that you hit it. So please support. Hit the like button, and while you're down there, if you'd be so inclined, please subscribe, because that definitely helps me. Anyway, enough of that. Having said that, the least I could do is give you guys a confession, and the confession is this. Upon taking my Dromaeosaurus out of the packaging, the left leg snapped off below the knee level. Yes, it did. So as you can no doubt discern, I was greatly disappointed, especially since I was highly anticipating the Dromaeosaurus. I had already, even before I gotten it, I decided that this was going to be my favorite figure, and of course my favorite figure breaks on me. It is what it is. I glued it back the exact way it was on. It was very easy to snap off. It didn't. It's not like I crazy forced it. It was brittle, and that could be for any number of reasons. You know, these critters were out back in 2019, I believe. So, you know, it's pretty old, and for all I know, the plastic had gotten brittle. So, the fortunate thing is the position that it broke in, I can still make dynamic poses with it. So I'm happy about that, at least for right now. Anyway, enough about that. Taking a look at our Dromaeosaurus. looking very, very nice. The first thing that just grabs me is that red eye with the black pupils is just crazy. I love looking at the head of the action figure. You can just look at it and you can see why it's been determined about its jaw strength. It looks like it is a biter, if you will. You know what I'm saying? It looks like it has a stronger, just a whole stronger. The entire head just looks like it's more powerful than most raptors. There are some raptors that look similar in terms of the way how the head is designed, but Dromaeosaurus is definitely known for having a bite 3 times the force of, say, a velociraptor. The colors are looking very, very nice there. It's got that black snout, and it's kind of grayish when you go between the snout and then just before the eyes, and the same thing on the lower jaw. I'll open the mouth there. We've got the jaw open. It gave a little bit of an issue, so I worked on it off camera. But you see the nice wet look, and you've got the teeth nicely painted. I'm going to take him off the stand so I can look underneath, so we can get a look at the teeth, his upper teeth. Pretty nice there. The tongue nicely painted. Let me get it back there because I'm getting out of focus. Then we look at the wing. It's got like a take that off there. We're going to do this the old-fashioned way. I'll extend the wing, and we'll get it going on like this, so you could see it all in its glory. The wing is different shades of brown, very, very nice. And then looking at the claw on the underside, you see that it's got a nice dry brushing to give it that feathered look, and the claw is all painted black, very nice. Look at the underside of that neck, and it's got a basic brown, just a brown shade overall, and then it goes down to tannish when you go to the underbelly, and it looks they got the dry brushing, so it just makes all the feathering kind of just pop out. You've got striping on the hind legs when you get below that knee. This is the one that snapped on me, and so I'm not going to mess with it too much unless I do it at the hip or at the secondary joint. But you see the striping there, and then of course the nicely painted claws, including the sickle claw. Then we have the tail, and you see how the plume, it ends, and it starts off tan, and then it gets a little browner, and then it gets gray, and then darker gray, like a charcoal gray, and then that's how it ends. And then on the underside, it's just that same creamish kind of color, brown, and then you've got a little bit darker brown that way, and then of course once again that underbelly. So that is our Dromaeosaurus. And this guy has been pretty easy to stand despite the faux pas with that left leg. Keeping the articulation, and of course we're going to do this on the right side for obvious reasons. We already demonstrated the jaw and the tongue being articulated. The head, you can move left, right, up, down, and in conjunction with the neck, I forgot, you could also swivel it. Don't want to leave that out. In conjunction with that neck, you can get your Dromaeosaurus to turn a lot. That's pretty good right there. I love that, and I'm loving those red eyes. They're just killing me right now. As far as the forearm or wing is concerned, you can rotate it. It can splay out, as you can see right there. You've got articulation at the elbow, and then at the wrist, you've got torso articulation, left, right, up, down, and you can twist it a little bit. Hind limb, you can rotate. It will articulate at the knee when they don't snap off. That secondary joint, the toes, and then of course the sickle claw, and then the actual toes, they rotate, and the sickle claw is articulated as well. Your tail, left, right, at the joint that connects to the lower torso, You know the tail is bendy wire, and you already know about, I'm not even going to do it this time because you've seen it before, and you'll be able to see it on another video that I'll put on the end screen. You can pull out the tail from the torso. It has two ports where you can either have it so that the tail is totally straight up. It's still there like that. I just bent it. So this is what it looks like in that one that's straight up, and then you can put it in one that's above that makes the tail kind of flush with the body. But I just cheated and I just used the bendy wire tail and did that with it. So there it is. You could do that yourself. And that is the articulation on our Dromaeosaurus. For some comparisons, we have our Dromaeosaurus next to the Velociraptor, the black version. And I started with this because I want you to see the differences in the snouts. So you see how long and we'll call it upturned the Velociraptor snout is, whereas the Dromaeosaurus snout is a little bit thicker, not as elongated. And like I said, you can look and you could just tell that the Dromaeosaurus has a more powerful bite. And now we have the aforementioned Ornitholestes looking right now. You know, it's amazing that I'd never even considered what Ornitholestes reminds me of. It was like an itch in the back of my head, and then I read it somewhere, and I was like, that's exactly right. It reminds me of the Roadrunner from Looney Tunes. Hey, don't judge me. Finally, for our raptor comparisons, we have the Fan's Choice Pyroraptor. And Pyroraptor was what they're assuming, because they really only have fragmentary fossils of this guy, but they're assuming that it also had strong jaws. So you could see where it's getting its inspiration from in terms of the head sculpt and overall body style. There's one more thing that makes me excited about this second release of the Dromaeosaurus, and that's, as you all know, the Deluxe Raptor series, they're scaled at 1/6, right? So, and they're all approximately a foot long, give or take, depending on the species in question. So, taking that foot into consideration, if you were to make this a 1/18 scale figure, this would actually represent approximately an 18-foot long animal. And there was another creature, another raptor, that was about 18 feet long and looked very similar to Dromaeosaurus, and that would be the Dakota raptor. Now, you're saying, well, why are you excited about that? Well, I'm excited about that because guess what lived with the Dakota raptor? That's right, the Triceratops Hardus and the Tyrannosaurus Rex itself. They all existed in the same environment together, and if you have a Dromaeosaurus and you're getting that T-Rex, that 1/18 scale T-Rex at 27 inches, and of course the Triceratops at 18 inches, all to scale. They're all right there at that 1/18 scale. And if you consider the Dromaeosaurus as a stand-in for Dakota raptor, there you have it. And this is basically what they all look like size-wise compared to one another back in the day. So that's why I love having the Dromaeosaurus, because it's a nice stand-in for a Dakota raptor. The Utah raptor was around the same size, or maybe even a little bit bigger than the Dakota raptor, but it didn't look like a Dromaeosaurus. It probably looked a little bit more like the Velociraptor, or maybe even in terms of the head sculpt, the Ornitholestes. But you know, it is what it is. I believe we're supposed to be getting a Utah raptor from Beasts of the Mesozoic, and that would be nice if that is true. And as always, we close it out with a shot of the figure with the included backdrop, and this looks absolutely gorgeous. That the snowy peak in the background is just combined with the Dromaeosaurus, and I'm definitely loving it. Once again, those red eyes, they're just getting to me. They are getting to me. Anyway, that's a great way to talk about this this figure. The paint app's great. Finished goshawk looks very, very nice. Of course, I had my faux pas that I volunteered that information that the left leg snapped off on me, the below the knee. But it still works, and I'll deal with it until the thought of it gets on my nerves, and then maybe somewhere down the line I'll get another one. What can I say? I can't go to Creative Beast Studios because I didn't get it from them. It's supposedly brand new. I got it second party. So it is what it is. These things happen, you know what I'm saying? So, but the paint app's very nice. Obviously, the articulation is spot on, and that backdrop is just crazy. That's all I can say about that. And I'll leave it there at that. Once again, guys, please like the video. Hit the thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. Help represent this channel. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Definitely leave comments below, questions, concerns, what have you, critiques. And if you want to be notified for the next time I upload a video, hit that bell and notified you shall be. I'm just loving this figure. I'm loving the fun factor, the fact that I can have this sub in as a 1/18 scale Dakota Raptor is just an added benefit. Anyway, that's enough about that. It's time for me to get up out of here, guys. Thank you for watching, and take care.